Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to go down. I know y'all was waiting on my brother Marcus Taylor to come through with Taylor Made Sports, but we have somebody in the building. And before I pass it to Marcus, I want to give our brother his props for the whole country, to everybody in Memphis, the state of Tennessee, our brothers in the building. Coach Anfernee Penny Hardaway, who has been, I want to say, a gigantic mentor for the city of Memphis. He's been everywhere in our city, helping, mentoring. I mean, I've seen this man personally do so much for young people, coaching middle school, high school, collegiate, and I've never seen this man ever turn down a autograph or somebody wanted a picture. This man has been doing so much for the city. A black man that came from our school system, went around the world, NBA. Y'all know his resume, and now he's coaching at University of Memphis. But I want to make sure everybody listening today pay close attention, because he's around two strong black men in this city. And you know he good with Marcus in the building. And then you know Brother John in the building. So I want my brother to have a good time and feel safe, because, ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to just pay attention to what we're going to be talking about today. So, Coach, welcome to the show. And Marcus, let's do what we do, man. Take it away.
Hey man, let's be clear. You know, I got my homeboy. This is a friend of mine. Let me go back so I can tell people. P and I go all the way back to probably about 89, 88, 89. His cousin Lamarcus Golden is my homeboy. Like, we tight. And we played for the YOMCA. It was a Y at that particular time. P played on the older age group. And he was a superstar then. My favorite story is, and these guys can't go to jail for this now, so I can say it out loud. It's statute of limitation. I saw dude go on the air at Boo Williams, right before it became the Nike Invitational. We used to go to Virginia, go to Hampton, Virginia, play basketball. And I remember he went to do a reverse layup, and they were on their side, and he turned in midair and got fouled and hit it on the other side. Now, man, you gotta understand what I'm saying. He takes off on one side, can't go to that side, goes back to the other, and right before he was about to hit the ground, he flicked it up and it hit, and it was an and one. And Roy Williams, a couple of guys from Georgetown, North Carolina, Kansas, all those guys, because Roy, I think, was still in North Carolina at that particular time, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a melee of conversation going about, like, look, I'll get you whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had never heard that kind of conversation before. Like, you'll get him what he want. Like, yeah, we'll get you a house. We'll get you a car. Like, this real conversation back then. And I was like, man, dude is a real star for real. And as I've grown to get close to P, I realize now that he the same old P. Like, ain't nothing changed in his mannerisms. Ain't nothing changed in how he is. Let's be clear. I told you, we keep it real on the Taylor Made Sports Show. We ain't gonna cuss and clown, but we gonna give you what you want. Dude don't change up. Like, I ain't seen nothing no different. Dude don't change up. I say it all the time. I've never seen Penny change up. The same guy you see here is the same guy we used to drop off on that little bitty street. That's all Tillman. Talking about going to his grandmama's house. I told that's one of my favorite stores. I said, man, what dude finna go? What are you about to do? This must be the alleyway to get to his house. They like, no, this is where you stay at. So I remember that. So when I called P and I asked him to come do this show, you know, we ain't backed by the big boy. We not ESPN. We not major radio, TV stations. We not iHeart. We not those guys. Right. He makes it his business, take out time.
Facts.
To come sit down with us and make that thing work. So, you know, I've been excited, and, you know, every time he comes on, man, we have to show face and do what we do. Now, I know there's a bunch of haters out there probably listening and looking, man, he love P. Yeah, I do, because I realize what he do for the city.
We all love P.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing, and I know he can't say a lot, so I'm gonna throw lobs today. You know, I was a guard, so I'm gonna throw lobs today because I'm tired of all the mess. So So, I was scrolling through and I'm on Grind City Media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Grind City Media is really geared toward the Grizzlies.
Right.
So why you on P? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm just tripping like, so I'm gonna throw it this way. So P, Grind City Media is Grizzlies, right?
I think so.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out if maybe they bringing you up because somebody put your name in the conversation of being coach.
Clicks.
Maybe that's it. You think that's why they, because I'm trying to figure out for me, like, why are they Grind City Media coming in? You like, you're not following the college game. You're following the Grizzlies, right? I want to make sure I'm not crazy, right?
I don't know because I've never watched them. I don't really know. Is that the Grizzlies?
I think that's the Grizzlies. I think Grind City Media is the Grizzlies, right? Okay. So I'm trying to figure out why the bad narrative is coming out about you and your coaching and all this stuff. Just like you talk about, I don't know his proper name, the guy who writes for the Daily Memphian.
Parth.
Parth, yeah, because on the thing is PUP or something. So I just put Pup. Don't judge me because I ain't know how to, but it's Parth, right? Mm-hmm. Why is this conversation coming up like almost to the sense of like Savoy? Like, if Penny doesn't have a great season this year, he just needs to resign. I mean, for a guy like you, and I call this the era up there, man, how does that make you feel when you've done so much for the city?
So much.
I just think it's an easy target, bro. I mean, I was warned about this years ago about my reputation and who I am in the city for taking a job at Memphis because they knew anytime anything went wrong, I was giving them an avenue to just go at me. And by us not making the NCAA tournament, I'm an easy target. And it's not even about reporting about what we do and how we do it. It's more personal. I can read through it. I see everything, man. I keep all receipts. I see everything that they do. And I just laugh because every single thing this year, from the smallest thing, has been reported or an article written on. And there's been a lot more negative and personal things towards me this year out of all years because it was just, to me, it was a layup. It was an easy target. We started off great, had an injury to Caleb Mills. Everybody wants to ignore that. Then we go into the conference tournament without Malcolm Dandridge. I'm the worst coach in the world as far as like coaching. And I don't know, man. It's crazy to me because
20 wins every season.
I can't lose my focus because there are people out there that really do care about me and really care about Memphis basketball and care about the things that I do. People are trying to normalize me. That'll never happen. You can't normalize me.
That's tough. That's why I call it the air up there because you got to realize, Biggie said the more money, more problems. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I have watched guys over the years say they love you and then come back and hate on you. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is this about? Like, life won't allow me to stay the same. And people don't get in their feelings when I do this, but I always bring word in this. Man, Jesus had to leave here, right? Everybody had to go. Mm-hmm. I can't stay here long. Man, y'all gonna be cool without me. I've done what I could do here. Now it's time for me to go to another plateau. Mm-hmm. And I think people don't understand, even when, let's go even better than that. When you think about Malcolm X and when you tell Shorty, like, look, I don't do that no more. I'm on something else. My calling is much higher. Brother, I ain't gonna treat you no different, but I ain't gonna be in them same surroundings, same area, and same energy that y'all giving. I can't allow that to happen to me. So my question to you is, do you think you get some of that, man, because you can't do the things you used to do back in the day, in a sense? Because you got to worry. At the end of the day, you still got to worry about the reputation that Anfernee Hardaway has, all right? You got to worry about that. And so is it hard for people to understand, like, man, I really can't do some of those things and some of those places I used to go. I have to tread a little bit differently because of who I am and what I represent.
Yeah, obviously going to the University of Memphis and being the face of the city when you're the head men's basketball coach, there's certain things that you can't do. Obviously NCAA wise, and then personally, there's things that I can't do anymore. So at the end of the day, I know what duties I have as a coach, but I also still try to be loyal to my city. And that's gonna always override the hate. No matter what, I can take the bumps and the bruises, the punches, the stumps, and all that, because I know I'm focused on trying to help my city. And for the people who do that, those are the ones that aren't helping at all. That's what makes it even funnier. Those are the people who aren't helping at all. So it's an easy. Again, I'm an easy target. That's all I'll say.
Well, now, right, you ain't got to say much. I got you. So, so here we go. I'm going to say this because it's already known about your mom, right? People have talked about that to a certain degree. I just think people are horrible when you know one of the city's sons is worried about his mom. You understand what I mean? And for a guy who has to worry about 14, 15 young men and 7 or 8, maybe 10 coaches, up to 10 coaches. That's 25 people. And the host of staff that you have outside of just the basketball, just the University of Memphis, and those people that help you, the operation guys and all that. And to still have to go have a grueling practice and make sure your mama okay. In one of the toughest times in her life, which was probably one of the toughest seasons that you're having right now. I just find it deplorable that media would be so low down to their own son. And for that situation to be like that, you know, personally, how are you handling that thing? I know we do what we do, right? But I mean, you know, when you take that deep breath and you sitting there and you just then took care of your mama, whatever, if that means taking her to the doctor, making sure she's settled in the house and she good, and you take a deep breath and you pick up your phone and it's something negative about you, and you know you are being the best that you can be for, you know, for the city, but I'm caring for my mama. Isn't there a level of like, man, you know, keep me out your mouth right now. I'm dealing with my own thing right now. I got some personal issues of my own that y'all know about. Like, how does that make you feel, and how do you deal with that piece?
I'll tell you even deeper. I never let what they said about me bother me because I was so locked in on my mom that I didn't really care the noise. It was already hard enough trying to win because we went 7-8 the last 15 games, 15-2 the first 17.
Yes, sir.
And it was difficult because I came home from a shoot-around, saw my mom laying on the floor, mouth twisted, knew she had a stroke, had to call my cousin to rush her to the hospital while I went back to the game, and then I went to the hospital after the game. So what the media was saying, it wasn't bothering me.
Hold on. No, you just threw me out. You said you went home
after shoot-around. And I just went back before I left to go to
the game.
Before I left to go to the game because my normal routine to go check on my mom to make sure she's still breathing.
Yes, sir.
And she was on the floor crying with her mouth twisted. When I saw her mouth, I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So I called my cousin, had my cousin rush over. Thank God for my cousin. She came over. I went to the game, but I kept in touch with my cousin all the way to the game. Took her to the hospital. I knew it was a stroke. And I spent from like November to March at the hospital while we were going through that stretch of the positive, 15-2, and the 7-8. But I never ever used it as an excuse. Nobody ever said, I never said, my mom's sick, I'm messed up.
No, you did.
I couldn't.
No.
Because I still have a job.
Right, and
That's
I wouldn't bring it up. I wouldn't have brought it up if the media hadn't brought it up, because we kind of share in situation as well with my mom dealing with and being a, you know, kind of primary caretaker for my mama. But at the end of the day, I knew that had to be a struggle for a strong guy who's doing what he do. But I almost said something. But heck, he never gave me that story.
Nah.
You're leaving the shoot around. Go check on mom. Mom had a stroke. You got to call your cousin and then show up to the game that night for the game. And you got
to the hospital after the game for sure.
And, you media guys are horrible. Y'all terrible. I know you got a job to do.
They got a job.
You got a job to do, but I don't respect the fact, where does the humility come in?
That's no good journalism.
Yeah. And you know, I'm going to say my guy name because I love him. That's my dude, Doc Holliday. I just don't believe Doc Holliday would have put a terrible narrative out knowing what's going. You see what I'm saying? I ain't seen him do this, so let's be clear.
Right.
But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I wouldn't see Channel 5 allowing them to put a negative story out on you like that. And you sitting there and you dealing with your mom like that. I hope this goes viral, which it should and will, that this is what you deal with. And you sapsuckers out here that's out in the major media outlets are sitting here talking about this guy who is dealing with a situation like that. And I just find it strange because your other counterparts who go through cancer themselves or their family members being sick and they're losing or going through, they have such a big heart for them. Right. But I'm trying to figure out where we lose ours, and as everybody talk about Big Memphis, I'm just wild. That's a tough one. So you deal with that situation and you continue to go on. Shoot, that's like being in, what was that, the Bahamas? Mm-hmm. I mean, you had to keep tabs and stuff to figure out what was going on even during this stretch, because you say in November.
Yeah, and when we went 2 years ago to the first game at Vanderbilt, this has been going on for 2 years with the hospital and stuff.
Wow.
My mom went to Orlando. We had a Thanksgiving tournament in Orlando 2 years ago.
You did?
Had another stroke in the hotel and spent the whole tournament in the hospital. Wow. And then we were on the plane. The plane was delayed 2 hours because the doctor didn't want her to leave, thought that she was going to die. Getting on that plane, going back home because she had COVID, pneumonia, and had a stroke. It was too dangerous. He said, as soon as you land, take her straight to the hospital. So as soon as we landed in Memphis, we went straight to the hospital. But that's the type of stuff that I deal with on my own because I don't need the sympathy. I know that's life. I put my job here, I put my family life here, and I deal with it. So you'll never hear me make an excuse about that. What they write about me when it came to losing games that I shouldn't, I agree with those games.
Yes, sir.
Losing games that you should win, come on, bro. I'm just as hurt as they are.
Oh, everybody knew it.
But
you're a late night guy.
Yeah, I'm grinding and working harder than anybody to try to make this city proud and try to help us get to a level. I'm going into my 7th year. I was still a pup in the game. I'm still learning how to hire, learning how to do things, and still being very successful at the same time because it all wasn't negative. You know, I've done some positive things for this team.
Yes, sir.
And at the end of the day, I'm not looking for, again, any sympathy. All I'm saying is I see the people who are writing the personal because you're getting personal with me to try to make me look like I'm a fallen star or I'm somebody that was projected out there to be able to do this. And I said we wanted all the smoke, and I said that we wanted to win a national championship, and it hasn't happened yet. But if you put my stats in my career in the first 6 years versus all these coaches who are being successful now,
talk to him, Penny.
then you can talk to me. Because all those coaches weren't making Sweet 16s and Elite 8s and Final Fours in their first 5 or 6 years.
No, we talked about that some time ago, and I think people are forgetting. I'm glad you brought it up because I wanted to come out your mouth. Because I think people sometimes have lost the focus or don't know how much of a winner you are. Like, nobody understands, and I say this, and I know the camera's on me. Dude will sit back and you think when they were losing, he was going to bed? Like, you really think that? Like, me and him got a relationship. Now, it ain't all the time, but it might be, 12, 1 o'clock. Hey, man, good game. Or, man, keep working hard, keep grinding, man. Still got it. I put my phone down. That song gonna buzz. It's him. We conversing back and forth, and he grinding, he up, he talking about it. Man, I'm watching this, man, I'm doing it, and I can show you in my phone. But I'm saying, this guy doesn't sleep. He wants to win that bad. He always talks about the city being on his back.
Yes, sir.
But that's double fold. You want them on your back, and you want to carry them, but they on your back. Like, the negative. Like, let this dude do what he do.
Right. And, Mark, I'm glad you said that because, Penny, when you said the part about you not looking for no sympathy, you kept that. And, as black men, they always talk about we keep a lot of stuff. We always got mental health stuff going on. But to be able to do what you was doing while all that was going on, the normal man could have folded or could have been like, yeah, this is happening, and try to rally the players around it. But where does that come from? Where does, when you said it can't normalize you and you kept that to yourself, where does that come from?
Yeah. Well, man, it comes from God. I'm a chosen one, man. I've been feeling like that my whole life.
Turn the mic off.
Come on, man.
I'm a chosen one, man. So at the end of the day, it don't matter what everybody said about me. I understand that I'm chosen for this, right? And my grandmother raised me to be a king. She ain't raised me to be nothing else.
Come on, y'all hear that, people?
And I'm just saying, like, I've been getting shot at and beat up, whatever, my whole career from high school because I was always the best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you know when you're the best,
They coming.
they coming.
They coming.
It just
Come
is
on,
what
man.
it is. And I'm not sitting here saying I've reached the potential that I wanted to reach for our city at the University of Memphis because I won a national championship like we do.
Right.
But
right.
man, my work ethic, me in the lab, me doing what I'm supposed to do is there 1,000%. They don't understand how hard this job really is. We're in a conference that's not respected. We're in a conference that's not respected.
Yeah, you got to have a heck of a year to get in the tournament.
You can go undefeated
You
in
don't go to
non-conference if you
ad-bid.
lose 2 games in conference.
They're not gonna give you no ad bid.
You got to win conference tournament.
Yes, sir.
It's not an easy job for people to have. And it's tough, but I'm the dude for the job. Because it's a care factor out of this world that I'm not trying to let us down. It's not just about a check. It's not just about that for me. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's about trying to figure it out to win for us so we can have something positive in this city. The other negative, you know what's going on in our city at all times. You know what I mean? That gets overshadowed. So I'm trying my best. It's like it's sleepless nights, like he said, trying to go, man, you got to get this together. Not for me, for the city, because I can leave.
You hear
can
that?
leave right now.
Don't do that.
Come
Don't do
on.
that.
But I'm just saying, I can leave
Being
right
real
now.
No, don't tell them that. I don't think they can leave.
and then it
real
don't-
though, Marcus.
No, I know it. I know we done had conversations.
Let them cook.
We've had conversations.
It don't matter who they go get.
Come on.
It's going to be hard on them. It's going to be hard on them.
Come on, man.
I'm just telling you, man, this is not an
told
easy
y'all I
job.
was
I'm not
gonna
making
bring it
any
out.
excuses. I am not going into my 7th year where I want to be because my standards are high.
Yeah.
But per college coach and the ladders that you're climbing, I was really ascending until this year when we
Yes, sir.
failed,
Yes, sir.
and it doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I know.
And you
I
got
know.
somebody in your corner that's always constantly thinking about how to be better, how to get it right,
Yeah, man.
how to get us past. And
Yeah,
I'll
man.
be the first one to go, hey, man, I can't do it. I'm done. Before I let somebody else that's just a hater tell me you need to leave because
You'll
y'all
take
don't
the
understand.
responsibility. You'll take
Absolutely.
all that.
You don't have to.
own that.
Yeah.
I
you
know
gotta
what
give
it
them
is.
somebody you love to say, man, we done done all we can do.
Because I feel like if I leave, it's going
I
to go
love it.
down hard.
I love it.
Oh,
I love
son.
it. Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to have.
So I got to take the bumps and the hits right now. I'm fighting in the ring and in the corner right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm fighting both.
What are you doing?
I'm fighting both.
What are you doing?
Because I know if I
told
quit,
y'all, he come
it's
on my
going
show,
down.
this what it be.
You already know.
I
I'm just telling
told
you.
y'all, this what it is, and he come on the Taylor Made Sports Show.
I'm just telling you.
I
That's
told
how I
you.
feel.
This is why I'm gonna let him
Because
lose.
it's too hard to recruit.
Yes, sir.
It's too hard about the conference. And you got to have an unbelievable non-conference schedule just to get some respect, or you got to win conference championship every year just to
That's
get to the
why
NCAA
it's so
tournament.
important when y'all say the non-conference games.
Yes.
And people post, well, look, our non-conference game is strong.
Yeah.
Well, you got one thing you got to think about. His non-conference schedule is he's really, really good in the non-conference. You whoop everybody tail around the country. You got to think about that. Who beats out in the championship game in the Bahamas? Was it
Villanova.
Villanova? They had a real skid.
Yep.
I don't see nobody. Did they fire their coach? Did they do anything in their coach?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I know what it is, man. I'm watching around the country, man, and I understand how this thing works.
Come on, P.
I do. I see how it works, man. I'm trying to learn from everybody, right? I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get better. Going into my 7th year, the year of completion.
Oh, don't do that.
You're
Talk
go
to
there.
him, P.
Year eight
Talk to him,
is a new
P.
beginning. Year 8 is
But
a
I'm
new
saying,
beginning.
I remember my man at Baylor saying, when they said when Cal left to go to Arkansas, they was like, we want you. He said, I can't leave Baylor because I lost my first 12, 13 years at Baylor before I actually started winning. Then I actually eventually won a national championship. They kept me there and then turned their backs on me. I can't.
12 or 13 years?
He lost for a while.
That was Drew, wasn't it?
Drew.
Yeah.
He said, I lost for a while, and then
on.
they hung in there with me
Yeah.
until
'Cause
I
he
got it
took a
right. Because they
major,
saw
man.
something in me.
What Valpo was his team?
No, that was his brother.
That was his brother. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
his brother. But, yeah,
You don't get 13
No, sir.
years to have
Nah,
a
you don't get that grace.
Really?
No,
you don't
sir.
get,
get that
2
grace.
seasons.
No,
It's
sir.
like, but you see that, and and I'm not going to bring in the race factor to this.
You can
place.
bring in the real
but
factor.
You
bring in the real
fact
factor.
of the matter is when he said
Hey.
12 to 13 years, losing season. Did you just say 20 win season he's had?
Every
Every year it's been 20 wins for you, Pete? Now, if you match that up, like he said, his stats up against some of these other coaches, hands down, you should be with him regardless. But to lose 13 seasons and still rock with that man, come on, man.
So here's one of the things I think people are missing the mark on, because let's keep it a buck. You had some high recruits who touched the campus and either played or couldn't play with Mikey, and have gone on to other schools. And of course, the people in the city, man, he can't keep a good kid, or that player not ever happy in Memphis, or it's always some. Like, I'm just gonna be honest when I ask this question. Pete, what is it? Like, you ain't gotta call no names, but when a kid leaves you, what is that about? Like.
You know, it's crazy because I'll just say this to my defense.
Yeah.
I never ever will say that I've done everything in coaching properly.
Yes, sir.
But I've done right by every single kid. I can stamp that.
Yeah.
So if a young man wants to leave, there's nothing I can do about that, because at the end of the day, he has a right to. But here's the thing: after they leave, they stay in touch with me. So if I was that bad of a coach, why am I staying in touch with all these kids?
Yeah. You got guys that come from other schools to come and train with you. It's on social media, like it's being known. Like, you train a lot of guys that's getting ready for the draft. What's that, next week? Next couple of days?
Yeah, for sure.
Next week, the 26th, is it?
Yeah.
They're getting ready for the draft. Those guys come and sit with you and train with you for weeks.
Yeah.
So if I got this guy at my disposal, why am I not taking advantage of it? I'm going to go deeper than that. Man, what's up with the parents? Like, hit me with that one. No, I'm keeping it real, because I stay on my people, right? They listen to the show. When they get on, I always tell them, like, I'm telling them, people are watching what you're doing as parents. It's very important to what you're doing. And we telling them to get prepared for college, and get ready for a collegiate coach and coaching. And yet, I see young men, athletes as a whole, student athletes, who are spoiled, man, and it seems like their parents allow them to be that way. So from your experiences, man, like, what's going on with the parents? Like, what's going on with that?
I think what's going on with the parents is that there's a lot of pressure at home. And I can say this, there's probably, in my tenure in 6 years, I don't want to put a number, but if I did put a number on it, it's probably 4 sets of parents who really cared about the team winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the parents are basically pushing their kid to do what's best for them. It's just how it works. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't take that as negative, but don't let it affect how we teach. You can push your son to go out and be the best version of himself, and I feel like I allow them to do that.
And you give them the opportunity.
Yeah, but don't. It's too cloudy when you start saying somebody's looking you off, or, you know, somebody's not.
Man, I'm looking you off because you ain't made a shot. I'm from Memphis.
Whatever. So, but I would just say it's just normal around the country. The parents are looking out for their child. Every AAU coach can tell you that. Every college coach can tell you that. It's rare when the family is like, he's going to earn his minutes.
Yes, sir.
He's not looking for nothing. He just wants an opportunity. And if he does, we want you to do right by him. But if he's not doing it, then he don't deserve to play, coach. He needs to be hungrier. It's not that. That's how we were.
Right.
When we grew up. And that's just the era of what's going on right now, I think,
but
with the parents.
Do you think I would say 2 things: entitlement and NIL. If players have got opportunities with NIL and they don't have no work ethic, and you come from a background
of work,
your work, you know what you did to get where you are.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seems like if folks got money, it's legal now. Do you see that? Has that affected the work ethic in players, or how do you see adding the NIL to up-and-coming players that's trying to get to the next level?
Yeah, adding the NIL has definitely upped the ante on entitlement. Because these young men, you know, I think I said it on a podcast a week or so ago, that some young 2 or 3 guys on the team are making more than assistant coaches on some of these teams.
Now.
No, I'm saying around the country.
Around the country.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
No doubt.
And how do you respect someone telling you something that you're making more money than, unless you just have that care
home
factor?
training?
home training,
Home training.
and that character to say,
Yeah.
I want the money because I deserve that, but I'm not gonna let that define me and who I'm gonna work. I'm gonna respect everybody, yes or no, sir, and I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna have high energy. I'm gonna do that. It's definitely changed it. It's definitely changed.
So I talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the show in my own monologue, and I was saying that they aren't prepared for that type of money. And so what happens a lot of times is everybody looks at them as if they're the savior, right? Whatever they say is good. Mama ain't never had that kind of money. Dad around, they've never had that kind of money. And whatever the son wants, they get. But what nobody's paying attention to is that company who's sponsoring you is going to find somebody else when you can't compete no more. That little money they spending on you is kibbles compared to the money they making while you're out there doing what you do. And I think our student athletes don't understand that piece. For you, what is your message to the players that you have NILs, or just for those kids across the country, a guy who's been at that highest level? You talking about the number one player in the country coming out of high school. You talking about top 5 player, top 2 player coming out in the draft. You see what I'm saying? In the country. When you talk about basketball players, Nate Smith Award, all
Marcus,
that good
we gotta
stuff.
say it, and I'm gonna say it. I put it on Facebook. I said Penny was really in line for the next Jordan.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put the pressure.
Yeah, no
you know
doubt.
what I'm
There
saying?
ain't no pressure on that. It's in public writing.
Everybody has said, Penny, what is that person was the one to when you look around the league at
He had
the
the
time,
package.
nobody had that.
He had
so
the
you
package.
Got all that
Yeah.
coming out of our city.
Yeah. I used
It
to serve
should be
him.
love regard. It should be what you need from us, Penny.
Yeah.
The whole city, what we need.
So again, I want to say this before I start. I used to serve him. He couldn't check me. I dunked on him and everything. So live. Take it out. But what is your message to them? I just want to, from a guy again who's had it all, like John said, who deserved, if he hadn't hurt himself, he in the top 50. Top 75
Top
greatest.
5.
Yeah, greatest players of all
Come
time.
on,
You know how
man.
to get the weather
no doubt.
jackets.
Yeah, no doubt.
Supposed to have a jacket.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what is your conversation to those young men who are getting that plethora of money? What is your conversation to them to get them prepared to understand, man, it's greater than that money that you're getting right now?
Yeah, I would just say to them, first of all, don't let NIL make you get to a point because you're getting this money that you forget about what the goal is. The goal is to make it to the next level, not just to get NIL. And with the NIL money that you're getting, save. Don't just spend all this money right now.
P.
I know family might be having
Oh,
bills. I get that. But
Right.
man, save
Ooh,
something,
that
man,
money
because
dunking
you're not promised to make it to the next level. But you need to grind and work like you want that. But that money that you're getting, that you have, first you got to pay taxes. And then secondly, save some of that money. Don't let all that money go. Because if you spend all your money and then you go and don't make the league, you have to have that mentality. I'm not saying you're going to fail at anything. I'm just saying be smart.
What was your introduction to financial literacy, P, when you was coming in the game? Coming in first years in the NBA. Once everything was official, did somebody pull you to the side, or did you learn on your own? What was it for you?
For me, it was just the humility of understanding that I didn't try to buy everything that I wanted. I just got everything that I needed. You know what I mean? And I knew that it was going to be a rainy day. I wanted to have money forever, not just while I was in the league.
So when you was coming in the league, you had that mentality.
That was my mentality. Being from Memphis, that was my Memphis mentality.
We want to buy the cars.
I get it. I did that.
Right.
Yeah.
But God blessed me enough to have enough to
Enough money.
understand.
Wow.
We're not just about to run through this. We're not about to run through this. We're going to save this money, so that we can have it for. I wanted to live great in the NBA. I did not get anything that I didn't want.
I got you. Right.
But I didn't try to just go buy everything, because there was some guys buying a lot of stuff that they really didn't need.
Right.
They were just buying it because they had the money. And if you keep doing that, eventually
It's going to catch up to you.
it's going to catch up to you, right? So my mentality was to get my stuff, but then save and conserve, because after basketball, I knew I was going to be, with the grace of God, be living on this earth as after the NBA more years than I was playing.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I want to live this way after I get done.
So I'm going to be hard here. I'm going to ask this question. I don't know. You and Nike, y'all still good, ain't you?
Oh yeah, great, great. Nike's
I
great.
mean, I asked that question. I make that statement because young kids don't get this. Like you're still a guy that they say, hey, you good? You got everything you need?
Mm-hmm.
Just think about this. What was that? 6, 7 years ago, a little bit longer than that. You got the highest selling shoe
Mm-hmm.
in the country, in the
Yeah.
world.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
this
brought
was
the
true. I
pennies
thought
back.
this was an urban legend. So that was true.
No,
it's
his
true.
shoe was a. I called them. We went New York. You remember I was in New York and
Yeah.
I told you Fat had your shoes on,
Yep.
and the dude said, "Man, I'll buy them right now." Dude said, "I'll buy them off his feet right now." I said, "We from Memphis." He was like, "What?" I said, "Man, they sell them in the store." In the store. He said, "Man, I'm trying to get to Memphis now. I need to get there. Y'all selling these?" Like, yeah, the pennies in the store. It dude's like, man, and we were walking down what's that? The big street.
Broadway.
Broadway, all the stores, everything, every Morton's, ain't that the name of the shoe place up there? Morton's is on that.
Dr. Martin's.
Yeah, it's on that side.
Uh-huh.
They sell sporting goods, right? Yes, sir. His whole store had Jordans, Foot Locker, Finish Line. Everybody had his shoes in it, and I was like, wow, we take it for granted, but it was the biggest selling shoe at that particular time. So, again. Here's another question. You got guys that's on your team now. Do you talk to them about the financial literacy part? Because I almost say, John said you got it when you got in the league, and that's good. But the real deal is we knew you was going to get money anyway. It was going to happen. So what do you say to your guys now that's at Memphis? Like, do you make sure they take financial literacy class? Do they take finance? Is this one of the prerequisites you have?
We have people come over from the bank and speak to them about it, for sure. We do. And we make all of them get bank accounts. Even if they don't have one, they get one. Some of them guys didn't have bank accounts. We make them go get bank accounts, understand how to, do what they need to do.
Now, my pastor said something. You know he love you.
That's my guy.
Yeah, say no more. So he said something. It was profound. We were about to go in church. You know, we always kick mess. And he says to me, he says, hey, man, I don't care what these folks say about Penny. They got to be out their mind. And this is what he says, and here's where it hit me. He said, because I can't take this credit for this statement. He said, man, dude got 4 guys from Memphis who coach high school ball and college ball. He got 4 guys from Memphis on his coaching staff who coached in Memphis, and they still winning. He said, name me some guys who take guys from their city, put them on their coaching staff, and they winning. Now, I don't... yeah, one year they this, one year they might be this here, but he keep them guys on this squad, and they win. How do you do that? How do you manage that piece of not going to get some of the other guys from across the country in those 4 spots, those four positions that you have? You said, man, I'm going to roll with my home team. Where do you get that idea from? Where do you get that thought?
Because those guys are great at what they do. Their greatness is just as good as anybody else's. I didn't have to go and get somebody else to do that. I can get the guys that I've been around and that I know that they can do it. And all those guys can handle their own business. So at the end of the day, it ain't like I gave them something. They earned it.
Yeah, I love it.
They in every position that I put them in.
Oh, I'm good.
You know, they're great at what they do. Every last one of those guys.
So you'll put that coaching staff up
against anybody, man.
Well, y'all have. Heck, y'all been beating everybody with them. I'm just being honest. Like when you think about this, and it goes into what Ray was saying. I hate you. I don't want to use the word hate, but the great misunderstanding in the city is that you're a Memphis guy, and yet we get all this Memphis hate from these people, and I just don't know if they look through the line and look at your body of work as a coach, but as a man, a Memphian. I don't think they look at those things. And I know you don't brag and boast about stuff, but
the resume is there.
But dude do a lot. Like, I ain't calling no names, but there's several guys out here that's probably listening to this interview. And again, I ain't gonna call no names. But I'm gonna say this: you think dude don't know you talk about him? No, let me look at the camera. I want to make sure y'all. You think he don't know you talk about him? He just wear that like he wear it. When God chooses you for something, He gives you a different level of thought. Like He'll let you know who your enemy is, and then He'll tell you can't touch him. You can't say nothing to him. So now I don't want you guys to sit out here and think you scot free because he ain't said none to you. He know you a hater. He know it. So let me finish my statement. At the end of the day, man, you have helped so many different people in the city.
So many.
And how do you deal with them dudes? I ain't talking about the people, the Savoys, the Parch, the Grand City, everybody, other people across the country who had those negative conversations. How do you deal with them dudes who we in the gym with, when we were going out and being at level 2 or going where we was love or wherever we was getting to going and doing the thing before you became the Memphis coach, but when you was dipping in and out of Memphis, when you was still in Orlando or still in Phoenix and you come, them guys you were able to party with and now we see that they done turned into real suckers. You know, how do we deal with it? Yeah.
You know,
I keep it real on my show.
No, I was told one time that jealousy is love and hate at the same time. So how I greet them dudes is with love. Now, ain't nothing weak. You know, I'm from Memphis, dog. I'm from this soil. There is another side. But the better side of me is, bro, I know you really don't hate me. I know you don't. We've been cool forever. But you get with a group of people when they start chopping, then you might agree with some stuff and then see me the next day at Piccadilly and give me a handshake and a hug. I know that about these dudes, man.
Come on, P.
I know that because I hear things that's being said and I go, man, I ain't never had a problem with that cat. Ever.
What you said?
Never. And
what
again, man, you know, Dave Chappelle said something so profound, man. I listen to him because through his pain, he starts spitting knowledge.
Yes, he does.
He says, when a hero fails, cowards rejoice.
Facts. Yes.
One more again. Sonya Payne texts me. She disturbing everything. Say it one more again.
When a hero fails, cowards rejoice. So I look at it like they always try to find, because I'm held at a higher standard in Memphis than most men in this city. Whenever they can tear me down, that group, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
They get activated.
They're going to do it, bro. And again,
Wonder Hater.
Going through my camp today and seeing all those young kids, man, from ages 8 to 18 and walking around and them running up to me and hugging me, that make me forget about all that hate, bro, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you
because I can't get crazy or ignorant because they're looking at me to be like, I want to be like him.
Right.
They ain't trying to be like them.
Right.
They trying to be like me.
Man, P.
So I got to hold it at a high standard.
P, I remember when we was doing the Finch Classic and you was saying how we was talking about some of the hate around the coaches that didn't want to tell the players to be like P. And it was like, because P you was like, I could really have, this was before Memphis, but he said, I could really have all the best players on the team. If you want, just on GP of who he is. But all these other coaches telling their players, nah, don't be like P. And that disturbed me because I'm like, man, we Memphis, this the golden child of the city, but you got coaches feeding their players, nah, don't be like him. Ooh. And that's crazy. That was crazy.
Let me bring the mic close. I'm gonna sit back when I say this. And y'all was asking them to help you finance some of your trips for your basketball team. I'm just keeping it real. I know you don't want to say nothing that's cool. It ain't it. You know what? Let me tell you something. What I keep telling y'all, me and him talked about this. Well, we all have talked about this. Memphis is crabalistic, right? We like crabs in a barrel. We never want to see one get higher. And like Penny alluded to, we get around, we have those conversations, and then you side with somebody that's talking crazy. We got a mutual partner, right? I ain't gonna say his name. He know who he is. We got a mutual partner. Our mutual partner treat us the same way. You ain't gonna talk about him around him. You ain't gonna talk around P around him. And you ain't gonna talk about me around him. and you're not gonna talk about him around us. We gonna go figure out what the business is. Now our partner pop off, and we have to make a decision. Like, we gonna roll with dude, or we go. You understand what I mean? But at the end of the day, he's a supporter. I say that because I'm just taken aback that nobody else, I can't say nobody. A lot of guys and women now don't step up and talk about what Penny has done for their son, their daughter, when people get to running their mouth about the narrative of him coaching and not being able to coach and all that good stuff. I just think it's unfair, but I'm just, again, saying out loud, one more again, you think he don't know. I just want to put you on notice. Like, I just want you to know, like, you think that he doesn't know that y'all say what you say. I promise you he do. And he greets, my dad used to say this, you could feed him with a long-handled spoon. I'm still feeding you, but I'm not feeding you what you could get. But since you eating from me, you okay. That's all you want to do. You just want to get something from me. And if I keep feeding you a long-handled spoon, that means you can't get close in to me and get what I really got. Only people who really, really love me and show their love for me is able to get that. So, you know, man, I just wanted to make sure I got on their head. Yeah, go on get to them.
So this is how I feel right here. Because I'm a true 901 dude. I really eat, sleep, and breathe Memphis.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's
sir.
why I'm still here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Come on.
It bothers me that a dude could hate on me but not be doing nothing for the city or these young kids in the city. That's the deepest to me. You
If
can
you hate
talk
on me
about
and
me,
do something,
but
P.
I'm doing it.
You doing it.
I just want you to do something. You can hate on me all day. Help our city.
Yes, sir.
Stop sitting around hating us. So that's the problem I have. Y'all can hate on P. You can say whatever you want, whatever. He this, he that. But what are you doing for the city to help the city?
P,
Just help the city, but we need help.
P, we got to go and do the conference, P. We talked about this when we had about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, you had just got the job in Memphis. We was down at Civil Rights Museum. Yeah, we need to go and do the conference. What we got to do?
Though, but he said,
What we got to do? We got to do the conference,
He
P.
said it's true, though, Marcus.
P, we got to do the conference. We got to do the conference before somebody else steps in and try to do it, and they some suckers, and they not gonna do it the way it need to be done, P.
Okay.
Tell
we can talk
University
about,
of Memphis
yeah, we can
quit
talk
playing.
about media too. We could talk about the Commercial Appeal, Daily Memphian, Grind City Media, who all these, what are they doing for Christmas for kids, back to school for kids? What are they doing to go into communities and speak to these kids about not getting in the streets?
Come on.
Let's
Come on.
all do it together. Then you can
come
talk
on.
about me as bad as you want.
Come on. Do it together.
P,
Come on, man.
let's
Help
do the
city, bro.
conference.
Don't hurt the
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
Don't hurt the city.
Yeah, we're going to do the Save Our City. P, we're going to do the Save Our City conference.
Let's
P,
do
we're
it.
going to do the Save Our City. P,
I'm here for it.
P, we got to do it. We're
I'm
going to do it
here
at
for it.
University of Memphis. What you want to do?
I'm
with
here
it?
for it. It don't matter. I'm here for it.
You just heard it out of his mouth. It's a done deal. I know y'all don't like to hear that. I know y'all don't like to hear that. Hey, we was talking about this, and this is a good one. This is going to be good for you. Have you watched Kendrick Lamar? Have you watched the video from your? Please go watch it.
Okay.
He got all the 6 Christian Bloods on one stage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did see a little
Right.
deal of that. Okay.
Watch it. You got everybody up there. We're sitting there going back and forth. John and Kavan J and myself, we're going back and forth. We sitting there watching it, and I'm gonna tell you, we end up watching it like some schoolgirls. We just enamored with what's going on with Kendrick Lamar.
Not
But I
enamored.
thought about this. Who better to unite the city
Come on.
than the 1 cent?
Come on, man.
Like that's the thing. Like guys are sitting there, your pal. It's time to shut these guys up. Like you said, Daily Memphian. Come on. All your other media outlets, come on. Here we are. This is what I do. I think it's time for that. Now, not only do I coach. First of all, not only do I love God. Not only do I take care of my mama. Not only do I coach. Man, not only do I serve my community. Come see me. Come see me. Come see me. You a phone call away. Come see me.
No doubt.
You got to cover this. Cover this. Cover this. Cover me having a conversation with the youth. Don't ask me about a basketball game. Ask me about how we're going to save our city. That's what we need to be on. And like you said, if you're not doing it, you know, maybe we need to start
rocks.
inviting them out when we do the tours and dropping off the tours and doing the Christmas giveaways and the Thanksgiving giveaways and the tennis shoes and all that kind of stuff. You know, we shouldn't, but we should, because I'm sick of them sitting there and acting like you're not being a valuable part of the city. And this ain't Memphis money. Let me go on black this thing out. Let me go on hood this out. You were getting money before then, P. P, come on now. Just run the line. Just run the line. Before you became coach at Memphis, how many high schools and how many middle schools were you helping every year? And you was in Memphis. I'm just give me a number. Yeah.
From 93?
Let's go.
Break it down to him.
Let's
P.
go.
I can't
Every
even tell
year.
you the number, bro.
Every year. How many schools
I
were you
can't
having
say
out
it.
every year?
I
No.
can't say the number.
No. How many schools you been having out every year, man?
I can't tell you the number, bro.
Come on, man. Listen.
The thing is, I had to go to court for that with James Wiseman, and the judge saw this guy's been doing this since 1993. He didn't go try to buy James Wiseman.
Come on.
James Wiseman was one of the kids that was fortunate enough to be a part of what he's been doing his life in the NBA, right? So they recognize that.
I told you.
But when you talk about
Come on.
helping people, that's all I've done since I've been back.
P, how many times you been at the game and somebody say, "Cole, let me holler at you," and the next day you have to send them a check, Cole? Come on, Cole. No, Cole. Cole, this the real show. Everybody else joke and play. How many times you have to do that, Cole?
Man,
Come on, Cole.
too many, bro.
Yay!
But you know what? It just is what it is because I felt like that was my job to help people because I made it.
yeah.
So I don't really want to, go there because I never talk about money. But at the end of the day,
That's good you don't. All right.
because at the end of the day,
Let's get it.
I put myself in those people's shoes when they come to me,
That's right.
and then I go.
Come on, P.
That's what I do.
Come
So
on,
let me
P.
clear
Come
this
on,
up.
P.
Let me clear this up. June has been Men's Month. We've been celebrating Men's Month. Men's mental health awareness, right? This your safe space when you come here. This your safe space. So I'm saying to you, we as men, real men, have for so long given, and almost don't expect a return when we really deserve a return. And I'm saying to you, you deserve a return. Like, I got that. We all like that.
But
I'm
I
around
don't mean
real
to interrupt
dude.
you. You know what my return is?
Come on,
Give it
P.
to me, P.
Talk to
Let's
us,
get
P.
our city better.
Yeah, there it
Come
is.
on, somebody
all
call the
the
man,
time I
tell the
need.
man to listen. This
I
is
don't want
the stuff the
nothing
man
else.
talking about. All hands on deck.
Yeah.
Come on,
Well,
man.
Young, I've been trying to get you to come sit down on the realest show in the state of Tennessee. I've been trying to get you to sit down. David, I'm calling you. I told you to get your brother on the show. All you guys quit playing. This the realest show in Memphis. Matter of fact, in the state of Tennessee. He don't open up like this for everybody. This is what we do. No cussing, no
Somebody
clowning.
just said in the comments, man, this the most Penny has ever talked.
No, they ain't never been here. They don't watch. I mean, I'm telling y'all.
Yes.
But here it is. This is the refreshing part
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that as men,
Come on.
intelligent men,
Come on.
we are having constructive conversations.
Yes, sir.
Not how to tear down, but how to build up.
Come on.
Now, one of the greatest things happening at this particular time, it's a yin and yang effect. You always on the good. That's who you are.
Always.
I'm going to take the bad guy because I feel like at sometimes we have to, like, enough is enough. Like,
Right.
quit beating on this man.
That's right.
Like, he's a man just like everybody else. And I find it repulsive that in your toughest time, and we agree on that, this year and everything that's gone with you as a whole for Anfernee Hardaway, the city has been their worst. And I don't think it's fair. And I think people need to step up. I think some people need to start covering alone. I know God got us, right?
No doubt.
It's a done deal. But God also dispatches angels
That's right.
to cover us.
That's right.
I think he's talking to some and they sitting back like they scared because they're afraid of what people gonna say.
on.
Man, once he sent me, I'm as we say in the hood, I'm sunt. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
That's what I'm on today. I want you to
Right.
come on here and have this great conversation for the
Be
people.
rocking with you, P.
And,
for real.
and do
No, I'm
what you
rocking with
do.
y'all.
Cause it kind of leads me into this. With all that being said and done, you got your team in early, right? That's been a blessing for you, right? This is
Yep.
the first time since you've been there that you done got all the guys you recruited in the gym early enough to get them going. How does that translate into wins for next year, you figure?
Man, it's the first time I've had my team here out of all the summers. It's so important because we teach them in the summer. We ain't got to start teaching them in the fall. So we start teaching in the fall. We got a month and a half before season starts.
Man.
Everybody else already has that June jump on us.
Yep.
And then we get a new team every year for the last couple of years. So
Yes,
we
sir.
need June and July. So this is a blessing. It's going to equate to some beautiful things because now we put our playing style and who we are, the non-negotiables, we put that in June and July, and that carries all the way through. Now when we get to the fall, we can start working on something else because we put them in the mindset of who we are.
Got him in the mind.
Now
first,
we're already there. You know,
So you getting what's my guy name? Tore his knee up. One hurt his broke his leg.
Caleb Mills, we put a waiver in.
Okay.
Put a waiver to try to get him back.
Okay. I know he was key. I know he was really.
He was key because he sacrificed his game,
Yeah.
and he was the leader verbally out there on the court.
I saw it.
He was
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
How do you put your we all know your tenacity and your work ethic, but when you see some of these young players, you could tell like you see that they've been working, you know they got that work ethic, or do you sometimes instill yourself?
The dog.
I know you can't put in all your players, but do you sometimes put the stuff that you did when you was coming up, do you kind of inject that into some of your players?
Yeah, for sure, because the team's supposed to take on my personality, and
That's
this
right.
year's team never got to taking on my personality because all those guys came late. So we had to get them in the fall, and we started off like gangbusters. It was shocking to all of us because we didn't have everything in we wanted, but the talent was we
talent was
played, and then the
carrying
chemistry was good. But then by the time we got in the conference, we lost Caleb after the fourth game, and it just seemed like everything went downhill. But at the end of the day, the tenacity and toughness now is a skill. Well, that's all we had. We was going to outwork you.
Right.
But now it's just you might get one kid on the team that's really tough, maybe two. Then the rest of the kids, you got to teach them this is who we are. And it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable for them, but you got to keep pushing that. I've always had a defensive-minded team. This year I had an offensive-minded team. And when you have an offensive-minded team, you can't win championships. And this year I'm back to that defensive-minded team. So these guys, they got it locked.
Who is? I want to ask this question. You said something. They take on the attitude, the mantra of the coach. Who is Anfernee Hardaway? Yeah.
I'm a silent assassin.
Yeah, who is Anfernee Hardaway?
I don't never brag on myself, but
Right.
you're not going to ever – I mean, you're going to know I'm there.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been my whole life. So
Yeah.
I try to instill that in these guys that we're going to punch first and not stop punching. This is who we are. We're going to have multiple efforts. I am that guy that's going to always grind and work harder than anybody else. And if you do, prove it. I stole that from somebody. If you do, prove it. But I'm always going to grind and work because that's all I know. That's who I am.
Yeah, because I'm in my feelings. I'm gonna say this little statement right here. I'm really in my feelings, John.
No, not you in your feelings.
Yeah, I'm in my
Marcus.
feelings. Yeah, I'm in my feelings because, he pulls up, in the grown man machine, and then he'll stay right there. I saw him in the elevator and I just kind of looked. I said, he looked like the old Penny. What is Penny lost? P, how much weight you done lost, man? I'm really
I
hating.
lost about 30.
Oh, I promise I'm getting in the gym. I promise
about
I'm
30.
getting in the gym. Tell me what you doing. I just want to hear a little
Man,
bit.
just in the gym. I'm in there, man.
I know it, man. Man, you looking good,
No,
man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
I
it, bro.
still give it to you, though. I just want to make sure you understand. I still give it to you. I still give it.
Boy.
Oh, man, but that's the thing. But that shows me the grind, right?
Mhm.
It shows me in your gym. You in the
That's the
gym
example.
working
That's
with
the
the young
example.
men. You don't mind still getting out there and still giving them a little bit of that action. Okay, so let's go on this. Jaden, he's out of there.
Mhm.
Man, how was the 4 years like of college? I know you had him that whole time in high school.
Mhm.
As a father, and Father's Day just
Mhm.
got out of here a couple of days ago. How was that, P? Because I know I got some dads that's listening, right?
Yep.
And some of them have coached their sons, and some haven't, but always been a great supporter for a guy on a level that you've always been on. How has that been for you?
It was tough. It was tough because you want to coach your son, obviously, to be great, but then you also have to be fair about things because just because he's your son don't mean that he deserves to play over somebody. The first couple of years, Jay was just kind of getting his feet wet, learning the game, wasn't really caring about getting in the game. And then a couple of summers, Jay got really good.
He did.
And then he came in and was out playing the 5 stars,
Uh-oh.
and I didn't play him to appease the 5 stars. That was really bothering me.
Wow.
Then the narrative that the media put out on him, like he couldn't play, why is he playing before this kid? But in practice, everybody would tell you, Jay earned. You know what I mean? And that, to me, as a dad, made me feel like I let him down in some situations.
Yeah, man.
But then also, the time that he played, I know he was out there trying to prove himself at all times, but he outworked it. He worked his butt off
He did.
and never complained. He was
He
a
did.
perfect teammate. He got 2 degrees, undergrad and master's, so he's covered. And, man, his whole time, he never complained one time about how it was being done. He just understood and just grinded. And that's what I'm so proud about. But it was tough.
Man, you said something. And you said it without saying it, and I think a lot of men need to grab this. I made a mistake, but I went back and took care of it. I think sometimes as fathers, we make a mistake, and it is almost like it is what it is. You said, no, I got to make this right.
Right.
And I want to tell all my dads out there that you can make it right. Like the mistakes you make, like, make it right, Dad. Make it right. Like, stop saying because I'm dad, it's okay, it is what it is, life is. No, you his daddy. That's why, you the equalizer. When the world is not allowing it to be equal at an equal playing field, you're the equalizer, Dad. You find a way in your circle, in your time, and what you're doing to make sure it's an equal playing field. Don't just sit back and holler out, man, it is what it is. This guy at the highest level said, man, it hurt me to do my son like that. I made a willful decision that cost me some sleepless nights. I'm not going to do that anymore. You know, and I can imagine what that conversation was with his son, but I can also imagine the night when you had the chance to get you some real sleep because you knew you had done the right thing. So, man, release yourself, Dad. Release yourself, Father. Release yourself, man. Make that right. You know, they say you can't turn back the hands of time, but you can make the time going forward much better.
Yeah, I'll say this about my dad because my dad left before I was born, right? But if I saw that dude today, I would hug him and wouldn't have no ill will. Like, he hadn't done nothing for me my whole life. I know where he lives. He's in Chicago. He comes to Memphis all the time. We never talk. But if that dude walked through that door, I'm going to hug him.
Man,
I mean,
y'all
it just
hear
is what it is.
that? Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
What?
Come on.
No, none of that
see,
stuff.
Marcus, see that there? That's a
I'm just telling you.
special.
No, I'm just now.
Bro, come on now.
Now, hold on. Yeah.
You
But
know
I'm
how we
saying
feel
again.
about pops now.
Oh,
you know how that go
yeah,
now.
Yeah, no doubt. My dad changed my life. I tell people, I almost said something. I don't care what they say about my daddy. Crazy he might be. Harry Taylor is my dad. Man, that man kept me from probably being one of the biggest hustlers out here in the world, man. Another guy by the name of Lorenzo Wells, my father-in-law. Man, that man saved my life, man, kept me out of mess. So when you talk about daddies and being a father, I had no choice into being a good dad. But I'm saying, like P,
Y'all heard what he said.
like I know I've been hearing that dad to come to town because I know part of your family. You understand what I mean? I ain't know that man hadn't came over and y'all like.
No, I haven't seen him in forever. But at the end of the day, LaMarcus's dad, my uncle Calvin Golden,
Yeah.
he stepped in
Yes,
for his
sir.
younger brother
Wow.
and said, man, you need to come and see your son. He pretty good. I was 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. He never came. Then when we got in the conference, DePaul was in our conference. And we played in Chicago. And his first time seeing me play was when we played DePaul at DePaul. Wow. He came to the game. And then I didn't see him only at DePaul. We played DePaul, I see him. So that was only for 2 years. And then when I made it to the league.
You know they all look alike. I'm going to say
when
that out loud.
yeah, we all look
No,
alike.
ain't
All my
right.
uncles on my dad's side
All
and me,
of
we
them
look
look
alike.
alike. Yes.
But like I said, if he walked through that door right now, that's my dog.
Where does that come from? Where does that come from?
Man, that's just God, bro.
Was it ever?
There was never no resentment, man. My mom left when I was 5. My dad was gone before I was born, so I was raised by my grandmother.
Yes, sir.
I think I was wondering what that would be like to have them in my life when I was growing up. But as I got older, I guess it was a learned behavior to learn to live without it. Not wish I had it. And that's where that grind came from. And then when my mom moved back when I was in 10th grade,
Yes, sir.
we just clicked and connected again like she never left. And then that's just what it is now. Now, it's so ironic that my mom lives with me and I'm taking care of her. Wow. When she left me when I was 5 years old and came back when I was in 10th grade. So that's how God works. I feel like that's how God works, man.
Testimony.
And Mrs. I don't care about you looking me up. You ain't gonna find nothing. But I'm just saying, Parch, Grind City Media, Savoy. You hear this story? I need you to
Come on
publicize that one. I need you to talk about those.
Come on, some of our black journalists, black sports writers. Come on now.
I need you to start talking about that kind of story because that's a story that helps save our city.
Yes, sir.
Because I got some hurt children, especially some young black boys who are hurting over that situation, and you got a guy who is one of the greatest to play the game out of Memphis, let alone in the world. And he says, man, I ain't seen my daddy since college. And if he came through the door, I could hug him right now. I was without my mama until my 10th grade year. And we clicked up and did what we had to do. It's no excuse. And then here you go. Life is not the same. A lot of y'all ain't got an Uncle Cal. I know Lamar's dad, Uncle Cal, and I know him personally. This ain't no, what's my street over there? Murder. I remember plenty of night going over there, dropping my partner off, and us peeing, all us being outside the house over there, and Lamar's mama being there, and but you might not have a Cam, but you got a Marcus Taylor, you got a Kavonjay, you got a John Bass, you got a Cedric Smith, you got a Michael Collins. I mean, you got a Leviticus Pointer, you got a Doc Holliday. I'm just throwing some names out. You know what I'm saying? You got a Mayor Paul Young. I'm on your head, cause these guys out here need us. They need to. Young people, you got some men out here that you can emulate. We're not saying we're perfect, but you got some guys you can look up to get you over the hump and get you forward and get what you going on. You got some Daryl Shacks out here. You can do it.
Right.
You got some guys out here that's making it happen. So I'm just saying again, man, I appreciate that. Like saying that alone, I told them throwing lobs on here. I'm better than Sherman Douglas at the lob. I don't even think you throw lobs like I throw lobs, Pete. You were cool with it. I don't think you throw them like I throw them. But man, I'm just saying as a whole, Pete, like for that to come out your mouth, right now is really, really big. That was a phenomenal statement. For a guy who could sit here and be angry as heck and everybody
like
agree
young
with
boys
you.
are right now.
Yeah, some boys with some
I
frowns
said
on
this
their
at the
face.
Southern Heritage Classic when Fred Jones asked me to speak, to be his keynote speaker.
That's right.
I said, God ended my career in the NBA just so I could coach at Leicester Middle School. I really feel like that.
Yeah.
Because those young men didn't have their dads in their lives. And me and Desmond came along. Rest in peace to my boy D-Mac.
Rest in peace, Des.
And man, was real fathers for these young men. And these young men have grown up to be great citizens in our community, not doing dumb stuff, not doing crazy stuff, and being respectful young men, because first it was Dez, then I came in to help Dez.
Yeah, man.
Then we started Team Penny AAU.
Yeah, man.
To get all these young guys out of the city to let them dream. Then we started the female part.
Come on.
Yeah.
Being Team Penny Girls to do the
right.
Team
Team
Penny
Penny
Girls.
Girls.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So all that stuff birthed from going back to Leicester. But what it did was
To your hood.
we
Say
got
that.
in my hood. We had a chance to touch those kids' lives. So all that extra, I know what I tried to do and done for our city. It's not about winning games at the University of Memphis, which is what we want to do, because I know that's my job. That's what I get paid to do. But man, it's about this city winning. Not just the University of Memphis basketball, football, baseball, whatever winning. It's about the city winning. Because these young kids, man, if we don't get in their lives, what happened? Right. I said in another speech, we was trying to take them off the street and make them think about Wall Street. We was trying to make them feel like we can leave Memphis and be what we want, but then we want to come back and pay it forward. We can leave, but we also want to come
back. Create
back.
our own Black Wall Street.
Yes.
Yeah, create our own
and that's
Black
what we're
Wall
trying
Street.
to do, man. I think that these parents would appreciate that, some help on helping, talking to their kids or talking to their sons or daughters or whatever about any little thing. When I see young people light up when they see me, because that's the coach of University of Memphis.
Right.
It ain't got to be that's Penny Hardaway. He coached the University of Memphis, whatever. Man, they light up Man, that's a great thing. Or a parent say, hey, can you talk to my son? I go to a restaurant, can I get my son on the phone? Can you give him some encouragement? Yes, I can. I'm taking that phone call every time.
Wow.
I'm never turning that down.
No, that's a fact.
Come on, Pete.
I
No,
can't
that's a
because if I can tell this kid something, his mom think I can tell him something,
Yeah,
I'm going to say it to him.
that's a gift. That's
Come
a gift
on.
from
Yeah,
God.
yeah, that's a gift from
Because
God.
I care about us. This city, if you walk this soil and this dirt, we know what it's like, how hard it is. If you can make it in Memphis, you can make it anywhere.
Yes, sir. Come
And
on,
I've
y'all.
seen Memphis people
Listen.
leave here and be successful everywhere else
Yeah,
because they had the Memphis in them. So we got to give these young people a chance.
it's a guy graduating your class. Does track. I don't know if you remember him. He was on the team with Big Marquise, Randy Carter, Marks Thomas, all them guys.
Essential.
Chris Elliott, Essential. His name was Anfernee Bramlett. He was the only dude on the team had the curl. Only dude on the team had the curl. So he's from the Garden, right? From the hood, from South Memphis. Should have went to Booker T. Washington. But that's the guy I was telling you about. He's from Memphis, and he's lived in Virginia in that area for over 20, 30 years, right? Went to college, ran track, team won the division at it's in the MEAC. It was Maryland Eastern Shore. He was the track coach there. And this guy just had a young man who just won a national championship in the 400 meters maybe, but he from Memphis, and he hadn't come back, and he came from adverse situation. Here's the odd part. He was the dude that used to run around the city from over in South Memphis, over on Crump, all the way out here to the fairgrounds, all the way back around, and came back to South Memphis. That was his run daily. They thought he was crazy, but he got out the hood. He's married, lives a great life, but he's from the city. His name is Anfernee Bramlett. He's South Memphis. One of South Memphis fans. Okay? Never got no trouble. Wasn't no dope guy. Wasn't no drinker. Wasn't no smoker. He loved running. He loved hooping. That was his thing. He was a defensive dog. He could play all day. He could run all day. But at the end of the day, he went to college, man. He left here, and he has been doing well for himself, and probably countless others. But at the end of the day, his impact is being felt by another young man who he is trained to win a national championship in a race. Hey, man, my sentiments are with P.
That's right.
Man, when you are from Memphis, you can go anywhere and
right.
make it.
That's right.
No
All
doubt.
Facts. Well, look, we got a few minutes left, man. P, you got any closing words before we get out of here, man?
The only thing I'll say is we have to do better. I mean, I'm not talking about basketball. I'm grinding on that every single day. But just monitoring our city and understanding what state we're in, I think we're worried about the wrong stuff. It's time to put some things in perspective. And these platforms that people have on social media, you know, the Memphis Tiger page, I even offered those people who have so much to say about us to just give to NIL or give back to the community. I'll come on there and just do what we're doing right now. Y'all can talk to me. Y'all can ask me questions about anything y'all want to ask me. If y'all just help donate money to whatever cause I say or to NIL or whatever. And they declined.
They declined?
The guys that were doing the most talking declined. Wow. So I'm saying put your money where your mouth is. If you want to talk to me, if you want to ask me why I do something, whatever, you want me to come on a platform like a podcast or whatever, you got to do something for South Memphis, North Memphis, East Memphis. You got to do something like that. I'll come on there.
Come on.
Just put your money where your mouth is. For some kids, whether it's back to school, whether it's winter coats, whether it's
Books,
whatever,
literacy,
books,
something.
whatever.
Right.
So
That's just my thing.
I just got a
Thank you,
text
thank
message. It's a good one. I want to talk about it because I've been getting several. But here's one. Say it's got a guy who brought his son. He's with the 49ers. He's got a son. He's with the 49ers organization. I think he brought his son to your camp. He's from Memphis, and he's the, I think, VP of communications for the 49ers.
Wow.
And he's a Memphis guy.
Wow.
Now, he with the wrong team now.
Yeah, he with the wrong team.
Yeah, he with the wrong team. Yeah, he with the wrong team. But he's the vice president of communication for the San Francisco 49ers, and he's from Memphis. So, I mean, I just wanted to say that out loud because it goes along with what we're saying. Man, that dude from Memphis in California, a VP of communications.
Come on.
Of a national football team who is always in the conversation of going to the championships, who always got to put out great communications in their gaps from Memphis. Those are the things that excite me. Those are the things we got to, thank you, D. Those are the things we got to talk about. Those are things we have to highlight, man. And I'm excited to know that. And D, tell that dude, because I'm going to call him a dude because he's a 49er fan. If he was a Cowboy, folks, I probably would say that guy, that gentleman. But tell that dude, hey, look, come on, let's make it happen. Joining what we got going on in the city of Memphis. I know you're out there in California, but we need his support, need his help here down in Memphis, man. So we want it to happen. You see the evil one on the other side over there, Sonya Payne. I called your name out loud. I hope every minister of the Baptist Convention is here. I hope they lift your name up in prayer around here.
Hey, we got a message that came in from a brother named Dwayne. He said, I was living in Phoenix when the brother was on the Suns, and we met briefly at a party, and the brother gave us some positive nuggets. And I'm in Milwaukee, but I live in Memphis now, and I admire the role and position P has accepted here in the face of so much ugliness that goes on. I hope, promote, and respect Penny, and I hope he continue to follow God's will, P.
That's real right there, my brother. I appreciate that. That's real.
That's it. Well, P, man, thanks again, man.
No, I appreciate you guys, man.
Man, like Marcus, when Marcus said you was coming, it was like, okay, P, coming. Let's make sure we get it right for him. But what you shared with us today, P, our city really needed to hear that, man. I'm going to make sure we put it on as many platforms as possible. I'm going to send it to the mayor to make sure he sees it or at least get word of it, because this is the type of stuff he's been talking about. He need all hands on deck. And what you just said today, P, man, I think you just shut the city down, and people got to see more of the other side of Coach Penny Hardaway, man. So much respect and love, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. Much love.
All right. Marcus.
Hey, man.
Go ahead, hit him with your famous part.
You know what to do. Hey, look. I just want y'all to know, this my guy. He's from this city. But as you already know, I love you more than you love me. And if it ain't so, prove it. Root to the Q's. But before I go, you've been tuning in to the Tailor Made Sports Show, and I'm out.